They told us to give a disclaimer. The views expressed on this podcast are those of the podcasters, any guests, and do not reflect any of the management, owners, sponsorships, or employees of thereof. Pretty much, if you're soft, don't listen to this podcast.
One thing I pride myself on is just being the same and trying to look out for my folks along the way.
Like, even with all these, big things happening, like, you still mad humble, and you still, like, you have enough clout now where you could easily be like, I'm not fucking with this, I'm not fucking with that.
Oh yeah, motherfuckers, it's on.
Unrestricted Podcast listeners, thank you so much for clicking play. Because of you, those numbers are going up, up, and up. And if you haven't already, make sure you go on to allrock.com, ALLRAWK.com. Go buy a t-shirt, go buy a hoodie. We're in Utah, so we get all 4 seasons. It might be the same day. It might be sunny, springtime, and then it's snowing. Yeah, that's what we're dealing with right now. But today I got a very special guest in front of me. Well, 2 very special guests. Somebody that you already heard from. Mr. Mike Jones is in the building. You gonna say hi?
What's up? We're back.
Why didn't you bring the title?
Oh, I didn't even think about that. I don't know.
Man, these fighters, man. You guys don't even know how to market.
Hey, as soon as I got the belt, I just pass it off to the kids, and then they go out in the crowd and they're all hanging around. Like, I don't know.
Every time I have a champion here, nobody brings the belt.
When I win my belt, I'll bring it, because I'm gonna use it to hold my pants up for like 2 weeks.
There you go. And that person that you heard right there is, per Tapology, the number 3 heavyweight in Utah and FFC commentator, 9-7 pro record, my man Eric Silverback Iman, who has a fight May 31st, FFC 32, coming for that heavyweight title. Was it Vera? What's his name?
Vandera.
Yep,
Jared Vandera.
Yeah. How we feeling, fellas?
I'm doing good. I mean, I'm like right in the middle of it. I'm 5 weeks out, so it's like we were talking just before.
Eric, get up on that mic, man. You've done this before.
Kind of in a constant state of soreness, but I'm doing good.
Yeah,
we're getting there.
Heavyweight, you're back, man. After people said you were too old, that you were washed, and that you need to hang it up. You said, age ain't nothing but a number, my man. I'm here. You said it in your post-fight interview, your last fight. I'm here. I'm not going nowhere. How does that make you feel now you're fighting for a belt?
This is kind of the culmination of my career. I fought for a belt twice before, and through a severe injury in one of them, and then just improper training, I dropped both those fights, and it was heartbreaking. I really, my main goal really was to win this title. Like, I started so late. I didn't have an amateur MMA fight until I was 34. Mm-hmm. So, I never had some kind of grandeur like I was going to go to the UFC or anything, but I wanted to make my mark here locally, and I think my record, despite the wins and losses, the way that I fight really has done that. I think I've set a legacy for myself just as being a real gritty fighter, hard fighter. I come home with my shielder on it. Mm-hmm. But this, all those injuries and years and training, it's led to this. It's my time.
Now, we talked before your last fight. And the young man, he stepped up because Cortez fell out, right?
Yeah.
We just talked about Cortez. He's known for pulling out of fights.
Yeah. And he's supposed to fight Zeke, so I hope he's got his medicals and stuff done. That whole deal was bad. It definitely wasn't ideal for Jesse Salmon. Stud though, stepped up, took the fight. And no matter who, with my size and power, even at, more of a natural heavyweight, I'm a lot to take on in 10 days,
Yeah, man.
And so hats off to him for sure.
Yeah, and Jesse, he is typically a light heavyweight, right? Mm-hmm. Came up, fought a great fight. I really enjoyed. You were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a great fight. I enjoyed it. How was that fight? How changing from preparing for Cortez, now you get this guy. How was that?
So, since I'd fought Cortez before, which is actually what brought me out of retirement, I had officially retired. And when Zach said, "Hey, would you be interested in trying to get that win back from Cortez?" And hell yeah, I would. So 2 completely different fight IQs between them, right? Cortez is more of a brawler. I knew Jesse was going to have to try to work his submission game. So, for me, it swapped. But, in my career, I'm not a wrestler. I didn't wrestle in high school. It wasn't my background. I'm not a big jiu-jitsu guy. I know the basics and things like that, but my takedown defense is really good. Fabio up at Team Link, it just drills it in me incessantly because everybody wants to take me down. I anticipate this next fight will be very similar. He's going to try to wrap me up. But, Jesse came straight at me, which surprised me because I thought he'd try to move and circle a little more. He came straight at me. And we exchanged a little bit. And knowing the size difference, I actually thought, I was like, he's going to trip me. He's not going to shoot on me. He doesn't want me to land on him, right?
For me, I want to shoot a double leg on you.
Right.
I ain't having all that weight on top of me.
Yeah.
Do that.
So, and he did just that. He walked out, he got a pretty slick trip on me and ended up in the top side mount. I used the cage. I flipped him and me completely over. And, we got into that exchange a little bit against the cage. A lot of guys and talking to guys afterwards, like when I fought Tony Darling and Sprower and a couple of those guys that were really good wrestlers, they were like, it took the wind out of my sail when I couldn't take you down or keep you down. Right. So, it was fun. How things come together or like when you're reenacting them in your mind is interesting because we were just in the back in the locker room and Fabio's like, when you break, when he can't take you down, he's going to break and his hands are going to be down. You need to hit him. That's exactly what happened. I think I broke his nose too. I hit him with a gnarly knee. In the clinch when he was down, I hit him with a really hard knee and he started bleeding everywhere. And then, yeah, he was struggling to try to tie up my legs and against the cage, he backed up and I hit him with a really, really hard right hand.
Yeah, you did. I heard that. I was on the other side of the arena. I was like, ooh, he got him. That's it. Mentally though, you're coming off of 2 losses. You get this fight. Obviously, it's weird because you prepare for one opponent. You get another who is a different guy, smaller guy. What's your mental like during that time? How are you handling it?
I wasn't wrapped up in the game plan all that much. I mean, I prepared pretty well. I mean, I'd done a bunch of training with Mike and Kent that went down with sparring at Agima, which has been really good for me because for all those years, it was just me and some of the lighter guys at Team Link. So I wasn't too worried about like game plan change or anything like that. But coming off 2 losses, right? When I fought Cavender was for a title and I took that shot that fractured my face all the way across. So for you that don't know, I broke my face almost from ear to ear. And it pushed my jaw back a 1/4 inch I was like, so I'm plated around both eyes all the way to the top of my teeth on both sides of my face. So this is as pretty as you get for $180,000. Just keep that in mind. I thought I should look like Brad Pitt or something. I came out looking the same. And then it was like, oh, am I done? And I just couldn't let it go. And then I took the next fight and I was going through a divorce, fighting hard on marriages. So I've said that a whole bunch. I wasn't in that fight. I wasn't. And I knew when I was in the back, I was like, I'm just not in it. Like, I'm not engaged enough in this. And I knew it before I walked out. And then, we were in the back and they walked me out. And sometimes it seems like you sit there for 45 minutes to make the walk while they're clearing the cage or, whatever, depending on what happens right before you, right?
Oh, my last fight, they were like, oh, let's go get you staged. Jerome's fighting. This fight's not going to go past 1 or 2 rounds. So we got set in the hallway, and then it was like, here, round 2, round 3, and this thing's going to go all 5 rounds. So we sat out there for the whole 5 rounds plus interviews. Yeah, we were out just standing in that hallway for that long.
Well, not just the 5 rounds, but they had to mop that whole cage up. There was blood everywhere. That fight was so I don't know what Jerome's chin is made out of, but I need some of that. Okay.
We got to ask his plastic surgeon too.
God damn. And you know, that shot he took to the nose, I guess he came out and said his nose wasn't broken. I don't know how. Because it was just pouring.
He was spraying everything.
Yeah.
Did you guys get touched?
Faucet. No. I'm not scared.
Let's talk about it. Obviously, we want to talk about May 31st and your preparation for your heavyweight title fight. Tickets are on sale right now. FierceFightingChampionship.com. Just click Iman's face. Let's talk about FFC 31 at UVU. It's our first time back there. I think they did one there. Or maybe it was the first one there.
It had been...
Well, you would know.
Last one there, they did the Showdown fights in 2014. I think right after that, they did RFA versus Showdown.
Yes.
And that was the last time that we've had fights there.
That's what it was.
That's in like 2015 maybe.
So it's been a long time, almost 10 years. We're back there. Obviously, Mike was the headliner. Eric, what's your preparation for like calling a fight? Do you have any preparation? Do you just show up and like, hey, let's fucking talk fights? So
I try to prep a little bit. I've tried to evolve that. I'm really lucky because Blake Aurelian, the gentleman that puts all the package together, right? He gets all the show notes and everything together, and then he sends it to me, and then I try to go back and look at some records, see if there's anything I can see online video wise. Because I mean, we all have tendencies, right? So just being able to call out some of the habits and things that fighters are doing, you know, and then my background just with all the fights that I've had and stuff, it's been great. I really, it's one of my favorite things to do, to call the fights. I love it. And that last card was, I mean, front to back, it was stellar. There wasn't a bad fight on the card. They've done a great job.
Opened up with a knockout.
Yeah. Yeah. It just like front to back, the whole fight card was great. And the way that they've done a really good job with the contender series or the challengers, bringing them up in a little bit of the smaller shows, and grooming them a little bit more. I think that it shows Fierce is invested in the guys that are competing to bring them up the right way. You know, because like for me, it was just like, I mean, I fought in ball fields and bars and.
We were just talking about Ultimate Combat experience. Did you ever do Club Elevate?
No, I had some guys that I coached did, but I'd been there, but I actually never fought there. But yeah, I mean, it's you're warming up in the men's bathroom and stuff. I mean, yeah,
there's vodka right next to you. Yeah. What's going on, man? So it's a beautiful establishment, man. You see Mike is the headliner. What's your thoughts on somebody like him headlining a show, holding that middleweight type title right now?
He earned it. I see, the Saturdays we were in the gym together, he works his ass off. He works his guts off. Unfortunately, we were only able to go up and train once with Marco just because of some scheduling things and stuff like that. But he works his ass off. There is not a man I can say, there isn't a guy in that training room that ain't working hard, right? But he earned it. He doesn't skip corners. He's a veteran. That you saw his patience in that last fight. Mm-hmm. Just, the guy was kind of pawing the jab and he just came right over the top, parried it, put him down. I mean, it was perfect. It was great. And, you deserve where you are.
I appreciate that.
I really do. I'm proud to be your friend.
Yeah. We got a good thing going right now with Utah and
sure.
May. Like we're all training together, just making us all better.
I wish it would have happened 10 years ago, but
Same.
But these are the fundamentals and the things that you guys are laying down right now, the foundation that you guys are continually to build on to get our next guy or gal to put that strap on them on the highest level. You know what I mean? To give the next generation that next boost. We're there, man. Like, we have the talent and we have a great promotion. I mean, we have two great promotions, right? Like, Stillfist is doing their thing. Fierce is, if you're going the professional route, that's the the main attraction. And with athletes like you guys, you're gonna put on a show. You know, you're gonna put on a show and you're gonna hold it right. You know, you guys are the right guys to be the face of this thing.
Yeah, you know, I'm well spoken. I talk some shit, but but pretty well spoken, respectful. You know what I mean? We go do the work. We're not just in it for likes on social media. It's not all flash. It's about the fight and putting on a good show and doing our best, putting our best foot forward, and being a title holder. That's the ultimate goal, and Mike, with that last showing, I think he's right there to where he could definitely be looking at a bigger opportunity here soon. And I'm pulling for you. Yeah. Have him call me.
Yeah.
Mike, what's your thoughts on a vet like Eric Silverback Iman? What's your thoughts on somebody like him?
I love this guy, dude. I remember watching fights back in the day, like going to FitCon. Who did you fight? You fought Etty?
Yeah.
Paulu? And I was training with Eddie at the time when you guys threw down. That was so some backstory on that Etty fight, because me and Etty, it was like we drew a line in the cage and it was a Rock'em Sock'em Robots. It was fucking wild. And he he weighed in real light too. I think he was 215, 218 when he weighed in. And I'm like, man, why? I was thinking, and it was one of my earlier fights. It was my fourth fight or something. I'm like, why is he taking this fight? And he came out and just gave it to me. I mean, we were brawling. And so he split my lip. It's funny the things you remember after. So he splits my lip from basically all the way up to my nose, right? All the way open. You can see my teeth and shit. And that was in the first round, right? And I mean, me and him are just smashing each other. And I go back and I'm sitting, and Fabio comes over and he gives me some water, and I kind of lean over a little bit, and it just runs all down me. And it's all bloody and shit, you know what I mean? And I'm like, and Fabio's like, you're okay. You're just bleeding from the normal places. It's fine. So I go back out. Same thing, second round. We're just brawling. And I'm kneeing him in the body. I'm smashing him. And up to that point, I'd had 5 amateur Muay Thai fights when I lived in California, and you couldn't knee in the face. So I kind of stuck in that. And so then I come back in between rounds, and Fabio grabs my face and he looks at me and he says, you knee him in the face. You don't knee him in the body no more. You knee him in the face. And I walked out and I threw 1-2 and bop and dropped him.
With a knee.
And he still didn't quit. I ended up choking him out. He I hit him with the knee and dropped him, and I think it broke his orbital bone. Because his eye was completely swole shut.
Oh, right? Man.
But before we were out of the cage. So we get done with that fight. I leave. I fucking go to the hospital, my favorite place. And they stitched my face together and stuff, and I got this weird feeling right here. And and the guy's like, well, you took some shots, blah, blah, blah. And then, so the next day it's swole, and it looked like I had a computer mouse under my eye, right? Dang. So right here. And that lasted for 2 weeks. The swelling didn't go down for 2 weeks. And I had these weird, electric shock pains in there. Well, it turns out that was the original fracture. So when I fought Cavender, that's where he hit me. They never CT scanned my skull. So they didn't know it was fractured. They just gave me stitches and sent me home. So I had a fracture right here that had never healed, and then I had 2 more around both eyes that never healed. And then when I fought Cavender, that's where he hit me, and it broke it all the way across right under my nose.
Damn, man.
So it was 5 years later, it fractured all the way across.
Jeez. You guys are crazy, man.
I ain't never had anything like that, dude. So I'm good. I might call it a day after something like that, bro. I might hang that shit up.
That's heavyweight syndrome, that kind of shit, and the doctor. So after I fought Cavender, and I'm dumb. I'm like, I'm going to go drink some whiskey and fuck this. I just lost the title and I was all bummed and shit. You know what I mean? And Sammy, she's like, she was like, Fabio says he's never seen you knocked unconscious in all the times he fought. You have to go to the hospital. So I go to the hospital and I walk in. And the doctor comes over and they CT scan my skull. And he's like, I don't know how you walked in here. He said, if your skull went back farther, it'd hit your brain. So then it was like this big panic to make sure something doesn't happen, right? And the doctor reaches in and grabs my upper teeth, and they're pushed back about a 1/4 inch. And he reaches in and pulls, and I pass out. I scream and pass out. It was awful. It was awful.
Did you guys get this on camera?
No.
Damn, that would have been great to see.
Actually, I think Sammy still has the pictures of the CT scan, because you can see like it's fractured all the way across and my jaw's pushed back. And then you could see I had L fractures around both eyes. The doctor was like, these are old. I don't know how old, but they've been there a while. Like, that isn't fresh from this fight. So,
jeez, man.
Take care of your health, young guys.
And this was right after your motorcycle accident, right? Like, you got your motorcycle accident and then you had the fight, right?
No, other way around. Had the fight, got stitched up, then had my motorcycle accident where I split my skull open up here. And then, broke my collarbone. I got like 8 staples in my head. It's not going to be old age that kills me. Something will get me first.
What being a heavyweight? What's your thoughts on the division in Utah? What's your thought on our heavyweights here? We don't got a lot of them, but
no. Well, and the heavyweight division's always a little bit thinner at this.
Get up
level.
on that mic, Eric.
Sorry, the heavyweight division's always a little bit thinner on this level. I still think Kent's the best heavyweight in the state. I mean, just from training with him and his work ethic and things like that. I lucked out. I didn't luck out. He lost the belt and I think that it was as much just a little bit of inexperience as anything. But like I said, I mean, I didn't get a chance to talk to him before the fight, and I got to call the fight. So now I've called 2 of his fights back to back. I'm really honored to do that especially because I know these guys and so I try to be bipartisan, but I can't. Just a little bit of inexperience. Vandera has a lot of experience. He fought in the UFC. I think with a little more seasoning. I mean, so the plan here is I'm going to go out. I'm going to win this belt. I'm going to retire. This will be my last fight. I'm 45 years old. It's a perishable skill, I feel like I have to work twice as hard to get my conditioning and stuff back to the way that I did. And it's probably time for me to take more of a coaching role anyway, again. So I'm going to win this belt. I'm going to retire, and then we'll let Kent fight for it again.
So you vacate the title after you win it?
Yeah. I get to go out on top. It's not ideal, to be honest with you. My preference would be to fight and then defend it.
Yeah.
But, I don't have anything else to prove.
No, you don't. I don't, to be honest with you, like, I don't think any of you guys really do. Like, you guys are solidified, right? I feel like you're we were talking about if there's ever a Utah documentary for mixed martial arts, you guys are going to have a chapter in that movie. You know what I mean? You guys have been solidified. But we've heard this before. We've heard I retire before. Once. We've heard it before.
You're right. And when Zach called me and told me, do you want to come out and fight Cortez? Otherwise, I probably wouldn't have. I don't know that I would. I came out of retirement to fight Cortez. And then after that last fight, I was like, if it was the right thing and the right opponent and the right opportunity, I'd probably do one more. And me coming off a loss and then Kent needing a win in between and Zeke coming off a loss, it just, I'm not in the illusion that like my record carried me through. Some of this stuff is just situational, right? But like I said, I mean, my fights speak for themselves. So it was kind of the perfect storm, and how do you say no, I'm not going to fight for a belt?
Yeah.
Which is the culmination of what I wanted to do anyway. This fierce belt will will cap off a career for me, and I'll still be in the gym helping guys like Mike and Kent and those guys, and stay active. I'll commentate, and I won't have to go to the hospital anymore for fighting.
Yeah, man, stay out of the hospital.
Yeah, it's not ideal.
So big fights coming up May 31st, Fierce Fighting Championship number 32 at the Maverick Center. Go get your tickets, fiercefightingchampionship.com. You have your shot at this title. You're going to win it. You feel good right now. Who else are you excited to see on this card?
Joel Haro, I'm excited to see that. I need to go back and look at the card again. There's actually
Zeke's
fighting. Zeke's fighting Cortez.
Maybe. Maybe. It says Zeke and maybe.
Yeah. maybe we need a question mark. You know what I mean?
This has to be his last opportunity, right? Like, if he calls out of this one.
I thought the last one was his last opportunity. And actually, I told Zach, I was like, you tell him he can't fight again unless he fights me. So, but I'm glad Zeke's got an opportunity. It's a good fight for Zeke, I think.
Yeah.
Him and Cortez are going to hit each other a lot.
Yeah.
And Cortez has power. I just don't think Cortez's chin holds up the way it used to. Mine's all steel now, so it's got to be better than it was when I fell out of my mom.
Wolverine over here.
Exactly.
Who you excited to see?
All the fights. I want to see his fight. Joel Haro, bro. He looks good every time he fights. He gets better. Like, he's so technical. So
he looked really good in his last one. He had some showmanship too.
Yeah, I was looking forward to Julian Ruiz. Like, I love Julian. I like watching him fight, but looks like I seen that his opponent fell out or something, man. So I don't know if that's happening, but he was one that I really wanted to see too.
Well, and I think Sear's fighting. I like watching that kid fight.
Yeah, he's
too.
Fighting Joel.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
they're fighting for the belt.
That's right.
So, yeah.
I need to look at the card again. Obviously, I've been too focused on myself.
We got two guys from Excite that are fighting that I coach. The guy and a girl. So, yeah. So, we got
Who?
Roxy and you know what?
Pull up the phone, guys. Come on, coaches.
We got Roxy and Austin Cardone. He just fought on that Bonneville card. He got the big knockout.
Oh, yeah.
He came out with the headdress on and stuff. Yeah, so him and Roxy, it's her first fight. So see how she does. She's got some good hands. She's a boxer. So
those guys, I feel like Excite. You guys are on a run right now, I feel.
Yeah.
Or am I tripping?
No, they went 3-0. 3-0 at that Bonneville show.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're tough people at that gym.
Is that Utah County?
Yeah, they're in Lehigh.
Yeah.
Or Saratoga, Lehigh. It's all the same to me. Utah County. Let's call it all Utah County.
So Sear, when he fought up in Idaho, he looked really good. And I thought for sure that other kid was gonna take it away from him. That just shows mullet power.
But Joel's
a stud.
Joel's got jiu-jitsu too. Mm-hmm. So
the guy
and dynamic striking, dynamic striking.
When we were in Idaho, the guy that Joel fought and he lost his title to, did he ever defend the title?
He lost to the Michael Sear guy that he's about to fight.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Oh man. See, these are the stories we need to be told, man. Right? Come on, Fierce. Let's tell these stories, man. I'm excited. I'm really excited to see Zeke back, man. Kent got the win streak back for the fellas, man. So we need him to win. We need Zeke to win. Then we need you to win.
I was really impressed with Kent. The guy that he fought looked undersized. Well, he was kind of built like a lunchbox, but I really was impressed. Well, so when we were calling the fight, Blake or Jason, one of them, it was like, well, I think that Kent's having trouble with the distance. I said, that's not a distance problem. He's having trouble with that speed. That guy's a lot faster than you would think. A lot faster than I would think. Just not necessarily laterally, right? He wasn't real fast right or left, but he was really fast forward and backwards. So he's coming in and he was tagging Kent a little bit and Kent just trying to gauge the speed, but he was patient, right? Mm-hmm. And he had a little bit of a mouse under his eye, and I could tell at the end of that first round it was bugging him. Because sometimes when you get them, you're not sure if you're bleeding or not, right? Because you're sweating so much and you can feel it swelling and you're touching it and you're like, am I bleeding? Is it getting my eye? Can I see? You know what I mean? But Kent looked really composed, and then through that front kick, the timing of that was just perfect, right? And then put him down. And the guy, you know, can't weather a little bit of a storm with that guy's speed. And I don't think the guy was ever, you know, I don't think Kent was ever in danger of getting put out or anything, but it just showed some fight IQ, I think, from Kent, and I thought he looked really good.
The first time where we were like the crowd, you could hear the crowd kind of gasp, is when the guy threw a punch. I think it was a body punch actually, and Kent, he slipped. He didn't even get touched. He slipped into the cage, and everybody's like, "Whoa, no!" But it was a slip.
Yeah,
he didn't get touched. I was honestly surprised because I think there was about a half a foot distance as far as height goes. I think he was like 6 inches shorter than Kent, but he was able to find Kent's chin a couple times, or head.
Yeah, and that was, you know, his forward movement into that overhand right. He was fast. Like, you know, you can't judge a book by its cover, because you look at that guy, you would not think he was that fast, and he was way faster than I thought he would have been.
He ended up coming up. The guy that I'm sorry, I forget the gentleman's name. He came up after the fight, and he was talking to me, and he was like, "I didn't even train for this fight." He's like, "I'm from Arizona. I'm out here alone." Because I was confused, because Kofi was in his corner. I was like, "He's not a part of Cache Valley MMA. Like, what's going on here?" He's like, "Oh no, I just asked him to corner me." It's like, "Oh, okay." So he literally came out here nothing and just fought Kent. And I was like, "Whoa, okay. Well, what Kent said was right."
Yeah, that's a lot. That's a lot to take on too. Kent's not a guy you wouldn't want to be prepared for. That's for sure. But
I was not surprised. I was impressed with his kicks. Kent's kicks,
yeah,
really good.
Yeah.
I was like, "Oh man, slap, wham, wham!" I'm like, "Oh, he's hitting them." That hurts.
That's something I'm going to work more this fight. I'm probably one of the hardest kickers in the state. My leg kicks are hard when I'm throwing them. And Vandera likes to kick a little bit. He likes to initiate action with the kick. So we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, man. Is there a point where it's like, you know, I've done enough? Like, at what point it's like, it's a fight, anything can happen, you know? Or is there certain training where it's like, maybe not even stylistically, but there's only so much you could train for, you know? Whoever's going to win is going to win.
Yeah. It was funny. I was talking to Dane a couple months ago, and he's like, "It seems like every time I put together a game plan for one of these guys, it goes the opposite way. It never works out that way." But, you know, I think that it's going to be real similar. He's, as far as what Jesse would have needed to do, he's going to come out, he's going to try to exchange, he's going to throw a little bit, and then he's going to try to tie me up. He's going to try to get me down. He's a grinder, though. I mean, he wears his opponents down. So, you know, it's important that I'm in good shape, and I will be. My conditioning's never been a factor. I've gone the distance a couple of times, won one, lost one, but broke my arm in one of the ones I lost by decision. Wow. With Maurice. Maurice broke my arm in the first 30 seconds of the fight at Farmington, and I fought him to the distance. Shattered my arm, as a matter of fact. There's an 8-inch plate in it, or an 8-inch.
Sheesh. This dude's Wolverine.
I'm just stupid. I'm just too dumb to quit. But you know, he's gonna grind on me, wear me down. He's got good submission chops. I think he just did ADCC and some other stuff like that. So, you know, it'll be a good fight. He's tough too. He's tough.
How do you guys feel about bringing up this next generation? Like, have you guys thought about working with any kids, taking on anyone like that's interested in this stuff?
I haven't yet.
You ain't found no protege?
No, like, we got the guys coming up that we train with that are young, and then me helping with the fight team, but they're all adults. But we have a lot of talent. Like, some of the amateur guys coming up are really good. Like, they could have been, like, their skill set now is what the UFC was back in 2005. You know what I'm saying? They could be in the UFC in that era. So, like, it's just grown.
I often think about that. Like, we have to make sure that this next generation has a good shot. And you guys have a lot of experience from fighting with different promotions, what to look for, how to be professional about things. You know what I mean? I just think that you guys have a lot of knowledge to give. And is there an opportunity to show these younger kids? And I say kids, I'm talking about maybe kids that are seniors in high school, maybe the kid that is on the wrestling team and doesn't have an opportunity outside of high school, right? Like, I think that might be an opportunity for you guys to be like, hey, there's this other thing called mixed martial arts over here.
I've got Mike, who's on the fight card too. He's a big, tall kid. I think he's a little bit taller than me. Big, long reach. So, and it's weird too. So my son, Kane, he's in the gym with me pretty much every day. It's like I raised my own training partner, which is, he's, but I used to make jokes. I was like, I gotta stay tougher than him so I could whoop him through high school. So he has to go to school and shit. And he's come a long way. He's a big, strong kid. So now I have 2 or 3 heavyweights in the gym every day, right? Which I never had before. So just the difference in pressure with wrestling and takedown defense and things like that, like we were talking about, the wrestling, that wrestling pressure is hard to find. But Mike's very coachable. He looks really good in the gym. He had a fight up in Idaho 7-8 months ago, and then he's been training with us since. And he was training with LJ before, and LJ got him some pretty good base, but he's been really dedicated in the gym every day. I'm excited to see what that kid can do going forward. Kane, my son, he's on the fence a little bit. He said maybe when you're done getting our belt, Dad, we'll look at doing something. So we'll see. And I support him either way. I think I'd be a mess see my kid fight, but especially as a heavyweight.
You're a dad. You see your daughter compete.
You're right. I get more nervous for when she was doing her jiu-jitsu competitions and wrestling, and my son when he's wrestling. Like, I'm more nervous than when I fight, or even like watching coaching people fighting. I'm like so nervous watching how they're doing jiu-jitsu and they're going to submissions, and I'm like, oh yeah, it sucks. But
yeah,
it's also good for him. So
I see my 10-year-old spar now. He's in boxing 5th week, and when I see him get lit up, I'm like, see, like, you're not doing it right. You're dropping your hand. Listen, pay attention, focus, right? Remember your stance. You're being pushed over because you're squared up instead of, like in your stance. Like, make sure that you're doing all the training. Remember your training. It needs to be second nature. Yeah, but man, I get a little nervous when he gets his bell rocked a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It's interesting to see, but I think every kid should have some kind of martial arts, something, boxing, kickboxing, jiu-jitsu, something, just that little bit of extra discipline that's hard to learn. Somebody else coaching your kid versus you coaching your kid, I think is really good for them to grow, right? Mm-hmm. Being able to listen to somebody that isn't in their family unit, but it has the experience and the knowledge and respect and things like that. I think it's really, really critical.
Man, my son, he will get upset when Dad is like, hey, do this, do that. Little bass in my voice, right? I got bass in my voice sometimes. He gets a little upset, but when Coach is yelling at him worse than me, he's like focused and going. I'm like, what's going on, man? Like, I'm doing the same exact thing, and Coach is way worse than me at being aggressive. But you listen to him. What's going on, man? Why? I have no idea.
I've had some of that. I made Kane start doing pad work and stuff when he was like 5, and we did it every day. He did 5 rounds of pad work probably every day for 4 years. I mean, no days off. In the garage, just me and him, and it was really good for us. But I think I'd probably burn him out on it. And then he got into team sports, playing football and stuff like that. And then now he's back, and he's got good hands. He's a tough kid. He's fucking strong. God damn, he's strong. I think he's stronger than me.
Yeah.
He's strong, but he's been one of my main training partners for the last 3 fights. So having that opportunity and that bond, we go to the gym at 5:30 in the morning. We do some strength and conditioning stuff in the morning. Then he works for me too. He's an Audi technician.
Oh, okay.
So he can't get away from me. But I mean, he's my best friend.
Yeah.
And we're at work all day together. I mean, I don't directly manage him necessarily. There's somebody else that my assistant manages the shop production, and then Team Link every night, and we do that 5-6 days a week.
Where's Sasha?
Sasha works for me too, ironically. She's doing good. She's just some personal stuff.
Gotcha.
She had some health things she was going through, and she's been back in the gym. Actually started this week. But
Is she get interest in fighting or no?
She hasn't talked about it much. Okay. I 100% support her.
Yeah.
I'm always in her corner. I started training her when she was like 14, kickboxing and stuff.
My family loves her and they want to see her. We haven't seen her fight in 2 years?
Year and a half, probably.
Yeah.
18 months, something like that.
We haven't seen her fight. And so my son, he was like, where's Sasha at? I'm like, shit. Ghost, man. I don't know. She just kind of disappeared on us.
She moved to Oklahoma, and then that didn't work out. She didn't like it, and she kind of came back, and she's getting back in there though.
Yeah.
She's young enough. She'll probably start getting the itch. I think we all do. It's been a while. I'm ready for the test again.
You guys have seen a lot. Obviously, Eric, you started in kickboxing. You've seen a lot change throughout Utah mixed martial arts and combat in general. We have Marcos and the Karate Combat League. We've had Carson in PFL. We've had OC PFL. We've had UFC guys. We've seen a lot of different eras in Utah combat. What's the next thing for Utah combat sports? What do you think we're evolving into?
I think, I think we keep getting some guys going into the PFL. I think Kent with a couple more wins, he's right there. I think you're right there for sure, Mike. I think, I'm surprised. I'm surprised somebody isn't talking to you already, especially after that last win.
We got some talks in the work right now.
Yeah, my man.
We're waiting.
And he deserves it. Mike's a veteran, and I think Kent, Carson could be right back there. Carson's a stud.
3-piece suit, Carson.
Yep.
No, take your shirt off.
He gets mad because he had to wait. During the weigh-ins, he was like, man, he had to button up his suit and everything.
As I'm dying, wanting to rehydrate, I got to do my face off.
Yeah.
I took him 20 minutes to put on his damn shirt. I'm like, I'm going to grab that tie and just...
I'm going to choke you with it now.
Yeah.
We've got some guys right on the verge, and especially with Fierce bringing some outside talent coming in, giving the guys some different looks. I think our crew has definitely embraced, we don't need to be fighting each other. There's plenty of talent out there. We need to be helping each other get better. And we've made kind of our own clique, you know what I mean? And like we said earlier, man, I might have made it way farther in my career had we done this 10 years ago. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I'm really happy and honored to be part of it now. And getting to know these guys over the last, 6-8 months has been really good for me. I love these guys. I like seeing them at the fights. I'm honored when I get to call their fights. I see how hard they work. It's really humbling for me that they let me be part of this,
Mike, do you feel like Utah's united with our fighters?
Yeah, I feel like we are now. Like, I don't know, we got a crew right now where it seems like everybody is getting better. When I first started fighting, when we had the pit elevated, Horns had a big camp. All these guys had good camps. It was kind of like us versus everybody, Like, now we don't have like the numbers of people. Name 5 pro middleweights in the state, right? It's hard to do. And for me to get like that realistic look, like if I can train with those other 5 guys, it's going to help me get better. It's going to help them get better. So, but yeah, I think everybody is getting more on board with gyms are opening up their Saturdays and their other time to get other gyms to come in and get each other better. Like, what was Zach say? Like 801 versus everyone or whatever.
Yeah, for real.
Let's do it.
I would love to see maybe not even a fighter union. Maybe there is a fighter union, but some type of fighter coalition where the middleweights do click up and you guys do a breakfast, a brunch or something, and everybody just gets together and talks, and it gives you guys that don't have management to talk and figure out opportunities. You know, what do you need help with? Maybe you need help financially. Maybe there's some sponsors that are looking for more fighters that you don't know about, but some guys like, hell, actually my sponsor over here would love to have you on, right? Or maybe I could set up a meeting and you can pitch who you are. You know, I just think that more of that will help build the Utah brand of fighter and will help plug up gaps and holes and what other fighters need help with, right? There's a huge opportunity there, and I would love to see that happen.
That's a good way to look at it, right? Because I have never done real well with sponsorships. I haven't like reached out for sponsorships a lot. I'm trying to round up some for this fight, trying to make this. I want this to be my biggest fight, my biggest win. I want the Maverick Center roof to blow off when I walk out. I want to sell some tickets. I want to get it full. I want people screaming. I want the excitement. But you know, I've been fortunate that, you know, I've had a career this whole time. I you know, something that I don't talk about, you know, I manage a $10 million a year business. I have 48 employees. You know what I mean? I'm really fortunate that I've been able to balance this fight career and had my career. So, you know, I never fought for the money. It wasn't ever that wasn't a motivator for me. You know what I mean? I wanted the test. I wanted to test myself. And I learned some things in the gym and in fighting that I don't think you can learn any other way. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm kind of fortunate that way, but some of these younger guys that aren't establishing a career don't have, you know, they want to make this their career. That would definitely be really beneficial for them to be able to have some more resources.
Yeah. Even if it was something to where you guys put together a full pool of, you know, you pay your $25 a month dues or whatever, and then hopefully those dues can help out somebody that needs to take a month off and help support them through that camp, whatever it is, right? There's just other opportunities that I feel like they're that are being missed, and now's the time to at least try something. Now's the time. You know, we're there. Like, Utah's there. Now's the time to pull the trigger on a lot of things. And remind me, I need to talk to you after, because I think we can maybe work some things out with what you do outside of fighting. But yeah, man, I'm excited. May 31st, you're fighting Maverick Center. It's a huge card, huge fight. The Silverback's ready. Go get your tickets, fiercefightingchampionship.com. I want to jump into a segment called Questions.
Are you sick of podcasts that just interview people with the same questions and gossiping nonsense?
Are you tired of hearing about what's wrong with the world? Can you locate your nearest orphanage?
Who cooked the Last Supper?
R.I.P. Mr. Potato Head.
Seppuku Harakiri.
Where is Mavis Beacon?
This is Hos.
And this is host Beefy.
Listen to the Beans and Rice podcast.
Exclusively in Braille and all streaming platforms.
Patent pending.
If you're a sports athlete looking for a mouthguard to protect your pearly whites, look no further than All Sports Mouthguards.
All Sports Mouthguards, located in West Jordan, Utah. Come visit us, 1385 West, 9000 South in West Jordan, Utah. We offer high quality, made in the USA, custom molded and custom designed mouthguards.
Hey, yo, you're probably listening to the Unrestricted Podcast with Drerawka. We are? No, they are. Yeah, oh, right.
Oh, wow.
And I'm the real Ruby. You can catch me and Fonzie and the Jimmy Defunk, G Daddy Funk on Lake Talk 801 Podcast. Yeah, but I think you have to come in more smoother, more funnier. Like, yeah, they could catch us on the Lake Talk 801 podcast.
Yeah, y'all can catch us on the Lake Talk 801.
Yeah, and be like, and yeah, man, hey, and they could catch people like me, the real Ruby, and people like you, Fonzie, and people like him, G Daddy Funk, on the Lake Talk 801. Who cares?
What'd he say?
Huh?
I didn't hear him.
I don't know, but this probably should be the ad.
Is this? Are these on?
Catch a new episode every Monday on all streaming platforms. The Lake Talk 801. Tune in now.
Questions is powered by the good folks over at A Bar Named Sue. You can catch live music, sports events, and even UFC pay-per-views at A Bar Named Sue, 3970 South Highland Drive and 8136 South State Street. Find out more at abarnamedSue.com. First question comes in from Chantel in Portland, Oregon. What was the last thing that scared you?
This one's tough. This one's hard. You ready?
Yeah.
So I'd gotten divorced. I wasn't fighting. I was completely directionless. I was trying to find a bunch of answers and I got into a motorcycle wreck. And it almost killed me.
Oh my gosh.
And my son was right behind me on his bike and he wrecked too.
Oh my gosh.
So that was in the last, that actually was March of last year when that happened. So I was going too fast. I ended up getting it's a step below a DAOE, but essentially same thing, right? I was going 75 miles an hour probably down 12th Street, just too damn fast. I hit something in the road, ejected me off my bike. I slid almost 100 yards. Broke my collarbone again.
Holy moly.
And I got up, my bike slid. Like if you're familiar with 12th Street in Ogden, it slid from where the new Maverick is almost all the way to the overpass. So it had to be like 100 yards. I remember when I was going, I slid so long. I thought, am I going to stop? Like I started tucking in, and you know what I mean? Cause I remembered from the other accident when I got my head stapled together, how bad the road rash was and stuff. Right. So, I got up, I turned around. I was probably concussed. I couldn't tell which was my bike and which was his bike. So I started running back, but I ended up running towards my bike looking for him, and I couldn't find him.
Where was he?
He was looking for me, fortunately. But I think about, I thought I killed my kid.
Shit.
And he felt the same way. He's like, I think I was at fault too. And it was just, it was too much for the conditions. It was winter time, had snares, and that really changed my outlook. I had to really sit down and look and think about what I was doing internally, right? And I had to reevaluate where I was at in life, right? Because I really was just feeling sorry for myself, and I was just being a victim, right? I was victimizing myself, which hurts nobody but me.
Yeah.
And I grew from 6 months, 7 months, got some shit together, reevaluated where I was at, realized, I have a great life. I don't need to be making years and stuff to try to escape who I am or what I am, right? I have a great life. I make a good living. I get to do this with my friends. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? My best friend lives with me, my son. We go to the gym every day. I have a really rewarding life. And that really pivoted my mental state to getting back at least to the person that I was prior, because I was one of the most disciplined people I knew for all these years when I was fighting and stuff. And then all of a sudden I'm done fighting and I let my discipline waver and I'm going to eat like shit and I'm only working out 3 or 4 days a week. That's not my life. My life is better with purpose. I realized. So,
that was the last time you were scared. Did you have your leathers on?
I had a vest and just jeans, boots.
Damn.
We were all chewed up.
Your ass is bad, huh?
Yeah.
Damn. Shit. Wear your fucking leathers next time. Or don't be driving when it's snowing.
Yeah, it was dry.
Oh.
But I mean, no excuse. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I was actually headed home too. But yeah, I was terrified that I couldn't find my son.
Fuck, man. That's deep. It's heavy. What about you, Mike? When's the last time you were scared?
I ain't got nothing like that. Shit, dude. Probably just driving up here today. Someone almost merged into us. Oh, shit.
Damn.
I'm like, I don't got nothing deep like that. So,
are you scared before you fight?
Oh, I'm terrified. Terrified. When I'm in the, like I said earlier, like I'm in the back. Like, this is the dumbest shit in the world. Like, do not know why I'm doing this. Like, I could make money other ways. I could do. Yeah, I'm scared. Yeah. Anybody that says they're not, I mean, I'm sure they're, but yeah, for me, I'm scared.
Do those nerves ever leave?
Yeah, as soon as that music came on, they started playing that Showdown song, and I just started smiling. I'm like, all right, it's game time. And then it was like, now I'm gonna go fuck a dude up. Let's go. But sitting in the back, yeah, I'm scared.
I love it when I get the song list, because a song list will really tell you about a fighter. Really, I mean, I know you're fucking dubstep. Was it Iron Man? And you were orchestra.
Yeah.
As soon as I seen the orchestra, I was like, all right, let's see what this.
That's that old 80s song, dude. I love that one, dude. Showdown.
Yeah. It's pretty dope. Cool. Last time I was scared, to be honest with you, I don't remember. I don't remember the last time I was like scared. I don't know. I don't got an answer for you, Chantel, but thank you for your question. All right, next question comes in from Justin Clark in Murray, Utah. Life or death situation. Are you the person we should look to for help?
Yeah. I don't have a lot of, you hear a lot about fight or flight and stuff like that. I don't have a lot of self-protection in me, as you can tell. I do things hard, so I'm usually the one that would run towards something rather than away 100% of the time. So yeah, I think so. For sure.
What about you, Mr. Jones?
Depends on what kind of help you need. If you need me to help move a couch or lift some stuff, I'm your guy. But you got some mental health stuff going on, go get a professional. Like I'm not your guy for that. But you need some shit lifted in your house, or you need to be moving, or place a crash for a night. Yeah, I'll help you with that. But.
Life or death situation. We're at the convenience
life or
store.
Death.
Yeah, convenience store, and there's some.
I must have missed that part. I just thought it was just we'd help someone. But life or death.
Yeah.
I feel like I would help. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If it's kids, definitely for me. Like I'll lay down for any kid. Any kid, I will die for any kid. Adults?
Depends on the situation,
yeah.
right?
No, maybe adult woman? Yeah. Adult male? I don't know.
Nobody's coming to save you, bro. You might want to try to save yourself. Remember that shit you was talking?
Yeah. No, I'm just playing. Now I would definitely, I mean, if I can, I will lay my life on the line for somebody to help somebody. I have. I mean, proof is in the pudding. All right. Sarah Mitchell in Glendale, Arizona. Did you ever play Pogs? We're all old in here. You guys remember Pogs? You don't remember Pogs? Oh my gosh. So you don't either? I mean, you're for Price.
Yeah.
You guys play with the rocks.
Yeah.
So Pogs were these stupid little pieces of cardboard, like the coaster here. It was smaller. And you used to have a case of them, and you would stack them, and you would have these slammers, and you would just try to hit them, and all the ones that face up, you would keep. You would take them. Old game. Yeah. No, I'm the only one, I guess.
It's just you're solo, bro.
We used to play with cardboard. Yeah. That was fun. Sarah, thank you for your question. All right, next question comes in from Ghost Surfer. I hope that's an alias. Ghost Surfer in San Diego. What do you predict will be the next boom in technology?
Aren't we seeing it now? AI. Everything is AI. They just launched Meta AI. Mm-hmm. I'm not a fan. I know it's making people's lives easier and shit, and I think that's a problem. I think we need to think for ourselves a little more.
Yeah.
I mean, I not to say that it doesn't have some advantages, but I think the more we turn towards technology, the less we think for ourselves. But if I need a resume written or something, I guess I can chat GPT it.
but what if you can predict a fighter? What if AI can predict a fighter's? Because a lot of you guys, there's a lot of movements that fighters do that's really repetitive, right? Whether if they duck their head or whatever they move, right? They move a certain way. But what if you had AI fucking study that fighter and it can spit out what they most likely would do?
So I think somebody was talking about it the other day at one of the gyms, like Bo Nickel or somebody has like a AI give him a game plan for his fights. Like he already does that. Like they're game planning for him. Yeah.
It's already done.
Well, and when you're analyzing statistics and stuff, I mean, that's, like in my business that I go through and I look at statistics, and that's how I judge what I'm going to do in the future. It is similar. I don't know, man. We're, Sarah Connor and shit.
Yeah, for real.
Might be the Terminator.
I'm thinking maybe, obviously I think a lot of the labor jobs are going to be going bye-bye. I think that's the next boom in technology is robots will be, delivering your food. Robots are going to be doing the warehouse jobs. These are the things that are going to take away a lot of jobs. I think that's the next boom, and it's already happening. But also like the Neuralink stuff, right? The microchips in the brain, which is a positive for those that are paralyzed that need that can tell them how to move their hand again. But I think that might be the next like big boom.
And I'd be all for any technology that helps somebody that couldn't walk again, things like that. I don't know, man. I just don't trust it.
Dude, we're really going into if what the Bo Nickel stuff is, we're really turning into the Rock'em Sock'em robot.
Right.
Turn into Rock'em Sock'em robots. All right, good question, Ghost Surfer. I like that name. All right, last question here, again from my man Basa Munoz in Sandy, Utah. Ooh, so he only gave us a team A and a team B on this one. So Mike had to do this. It's your turn. Team A, you got to pick a team, A or B. Team A, Kent Mafaleo, Mike Jones, Carson Hardman, Joe Harrell, or Team B, Ben Moa, Jerome Hatch, Andrew Mickelson, Fabio.
Oh, bro.
Hey, blame Boston.
That ain't right.
And one of them sitting next to you, by the way.
I know.
Make the right choice.
All different weight classes, by the way.
All different.
I think it's very spread out.
Actually, this is this is well thought out. This is well thought out.
Team A again, Kent Mafaleo, Mike Jones, Carson, Joel. Team B, Ben, Jerome, Andrew, Fabio.
Oh, I can't go against Fabio. I can't. Oh, that's rough. I really want to see Fabio get back in this year. I really do.
Well, he has to, right? Didn't Ruiz called him out, didn't he?
Yeah. So they were. So ironically, and this everybody needs a Fabio in their corner. Okay, whatever that version looks like for you, right? So, Zach messages me, talks to me about this fight. I messaged Fabio, and he's talking to me about the 45-pound title too. We went back and forth. I went into the gym, started getting my reps in and stuff. And he comes over and he says, "I'm not going to take the fight." He said, he's like, "I can fight him later this year. If this is your last fight, I want to be 100% involved in your preparation, making sure you're the best you can be so you can win this belt." And I'll wait.
Wow. What a guy, man. That's commendable.
He, that I see him at the gym and how he interacts with people. He is the most giving person. Like, he's never holding anything back from anybody. You know what I mean? Not even the guys that just kind of rotate through randomly that come through like from other gyms and stuff. He's never like not coaching and you know what I mean, showing them what he knows. I would not be this without him 100%. Like his takedown defense and the wrestling and all the stuff that he makes me do that I hate doing. So yeah, I can't go against Fabio's team.
So you're going Team B.
I got to.
Mike, are you going to go against yourself? Are you going B too? Go with Team A?
Not a chance, dude, for sure.
How would that stack up So we got Kent and Ben, right? Those are the heavyweights. Who would you get on that one?
That's a tough one.
That is a really tough one.
They're both fucking killers.
And they both said they would never fight each other too, right?
Killers. I think.
Yeah, so they'd probably just be coaching the other team. So we really got to look at the rest of these guys, right?
See,
Since they're not going to fight each other.
Yeah, I think at least right now, right? Ben has some more experience. I think that Kent has age, maybe a little bit of speed. That'd be a hell of a fight, though.
Oof. Who would Mike fight? Would he fight Jerome or Andrew?
I already beat Jerome.
Damn, see? So quick. Do you remember his fight with Jerome?
He said,
hold on.
he was talking about Jerome's chin, and I was over here thinking, like, I don't think it was any different than anybody else's.
Did you count?
It wasn't for you, was it?
Did you count out Mike against the Jerome?
No, I would never count out Mike, ever.
Do you recall him flipping off Jerome at the end of the fight?
Yeah.
I didn't flip him off. I feel like I got in his face and yelled at him.
You did. Well,
I don't know. You know what? Actually, fuck. I did. It was, no, he flipped me off. Oh. He flipped me off because I went and yelled at him and he flipped me off. And I was like, I just beat your ass. I'll do it again right now. Like,
so
he flipped me off. That's right. I thought for a minute, I knew there was a flip. Yeah.
Oh, there was a flip off.
He flipped me off.
Jerome flipped him off.
I deserved it because I ran over and was talking shit to him after I just knocked him out.
Okay.
But he deserved that too.
Jerome wants to live or die by the sword and talk some shit. He got it, didn't he?
We were just talking about that.
I don't talk shit before the fight, but man, if you talk shit before, you better be able to take it after the fight, right?
Yeah.
And he is, like, me and Jerome's friends. Like, he's hit me up to go out for a ride on the bikes. Like, we're good. Yeah, I went and trained with him to help him for his last bare knuckle fight. Yeah,
dope.
And I like the hell out of Jerome too. You know, I think he's a great guy, but you know that's fighting and some of his showmanship. You know, it's part of it.
If you do go ride bikes with Jerome, not him. All right.
Yeah, I'm not going with this guy. And I'm putting my helmet on and I'm wearing all my shit,
chaps and everything. So it would be you and Andrew then, right?
And I train with him, and have him on the podcast. He'll tell you how that goes.
Oh, okay.
Just kidding, Andrew. What's up? He was one of my main sparring partners for this camp. Like, we have some good rounds, so it'd be a good fight.
You guys did get some good rounds in that
we threw down.
Yeah.
He's a good looking kid. All right, so Carson. So has Carson fought Andrew?
No.
They could though, right? Isn't Andrew a light heavyweight?
No, he was the middleweight amateur champion, and he just did his first pro fight at 170 though. So he went to welterweight. Him and Carson, same weight class.
That'd be a hell of a fight.
Yeah,
that'd be a hell of a fight.
And then that would leave Fabio and Joel.
I think Fabio's experience takes that, at least right now. I think Fabio is one of the hardest punchers at 145 pounds I've ever held pads for. Like, he has the most savage left hook. Like, I haven't been hit with a left hook from a heavyweight that hard. He doesn't get to show it as much, and I think sometimes he could blend his ground. I mean, because he's a world class ground guy, right? But I think at least for now, you know, and that could change. Fabio's 40.
Yeah,
you know, he's coming to the end of his too. But I mean, you wouldn't know it by looking at him.
Yeah.
But I think Fabio would take that at least until Joel got a little more seasoning.
Does Kulu turn pro? He hasn't turned pro yet, right?
No, I heard a rumor his next fight will be pro though.
You gonna spill the beans?
No, I don't know any details. I just heard he's going pro.
Yeah, all right.
That's all I heard.
Was that June? We gonna see him in June or July?
Hopefully.
In Price?
Hopefully.
Or Maverick Center?
Yeah, one of those. Let's go. Set it up, Zach.
Zach, put it together.
I like watching that guy fight. He's a scary dude.
Yeah. Yeah, the dude's a beast. Somebody else I'd like to see fight is Nate Owens. Is that what it is? Nate Owens, I believe?
By far, I thought he had the most impressive performance of the year. Like, if I just the way he was patient, he picked that dude apart. Like, his technique was perfect. Like, he looked good.
I didn't get to see the fight. I was at a gender reveal for my daughter's baby, but I missed it. So I would have liked to see it because I'm a fan.
Did they release that fight?
Yeah, it's on YouTube.
It's on YouTube?
He looked good.
I'll have to go back and look at it because
He's a stud, and he's a gritty fighter too. He's tough. That kid's tough.
Is he pro?
Yeah.
Is Munoz? Is it Jordan Munoz?
He trains out of my gym.
Is he pro?
Amateur still.
So his last fight at Bonneville was Amy. He was impressive too.
You're Austin. So Austin and Jordan both fought. Jordan fought Myers, and Myers beat Jordan, and then Austin won.
Yeah, Austin Munoz. That's who it is. Yeah.
He's fighting. He's fighting the 8th. So he's fighting the week after me. He's in camp right now with us.
Nice.
Yeah, he's a stud. He's really dynamic wrestling. Good, mixes his stand up and ground really well.
Those Eric's boys.
Yeah, and Eric. I mean, there's a stalwart name in MMA from Utah too. All of Eric's fights, seeing Eric's boys come up through the gym and stuff's been really good.
Dope, man. Well, May 31st, Fierce Fighting Championship number 32. Eric Iman's fighting for the heavyweight title. What's his name? Vanderbeer? What's his name?
Bandera.
I like how you said it the first time.
Vanderbeer or something.
Yeah, let's go with that one.
No disrespect. Hey, he was at the fights on Saturday, wasn't he?
I don't think so.
I thought he cornered somebody.
I don't know. I didn't.
Maybe
I'm
confusing him.
I didn't see anybody. I just chilled in the back until the end.
Especially when you're main event, you don't get to see shit. You're on lockdown.
He should got a hotel down the street, and so you can just relax at the hotel until about 8 o'clock.
I wish they would do that. I wish I had like a later show up time. Like I didn't have to show up till 8 o'clock, 2 hours before like my fight's gonna happen.
I get it though, because if something happens between now and then, it's like you're the main card, bro. You're the marquee. And if the marquee gets in an accident on his way to the fight, not only is it going to throw you off, it's going to throw off the whole event. Yeah. So I get it, but I don't know. Maybe there's something else that can make you feel comfortable.
That's how the UFC does it. Like them guys show up at different times. You show up basically 2 hours before your fight or an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Show up, warm up, and then you just stay in your hotel until then.
Well, the Maverick Center, there's a courtyard right there. So maybe there is an opportunity to get a little $200 room or something for you.
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
That'd be dope.
It's usually I get my own room. I walk over there after the fights. Yeah. It's a lot easier than driving home. You never know. I might have to go to the hospital. So.
Well, you're not going to the hospital. You're getting this belt May 31st.
We're gonna win this belt. This is the culmination of all these injuries and all these years. I mean, my kids grew up in these gyms. You know what I mean? This is my chance.
Yeah, man. I'm excited for it. You should be excited for it as well. You go get your tickets right now. FierceFightingChampionship.com. They're on sale. Best way to get tickets and support Eric is to click on his face. We gotta get you a better picture too. They put like an old grainy photo on the.
My abs look really good for a 45-year-old man though. Come on, girl.
Yeah.
Touch him?
Yeah, I got you.
After?
Yeah.
All right.
Handsome guy. Where can we follow you and all that good stuff?
Eric Iman on Facebook, Silverback Muay Thai on Instagram. The photo on my profile pic has my QR code up in the top right corner. So if you click on that, you can get tickets and support me. And I appreciate the love from the MMA community and all you guys coming together. And this has been a great year. This has been a great year.
Oh, I'm loving it, man. I'm so excited for where we are as a community. We have a lot of work to do. There's a lot of work to be done. But we're heading there, man. We're heading there. Sponsors, anybody you want to shout
out? Nobody yet. So anybody that would like to sponsor, just DM me or message me. I could use some sponsorship. It costs money to get ready for a fight. That's for sure.
Yeah, no doubt. Mike, want to shout out yours? Instagram?
Yeah, Mike Jones 170, just Mike Jones on Facebook. And just everyone who supports me. I fucking love everybody. You guys are awesome.
We're going to keep a mic in Mike Jones's face, man. We need to get you more used to this stage.
I know, right? I need to get closer. Or talk louder. I always get told I talk quiet.
You are a quiet little soul.
So, yeah, I got to learn to talk louder.
It's all that violence wrapped up in that quiet little voice. To pop off.
His monologue is like, I'll fuck up anybody in here right now.
But he says it all smooth.
Yeah, no,
I'll fuck up anybody.
All the guys at work, I work in like an office setting, so they're just like, I don't ever talk. I'm just quiet, like, that shy type. And then they're like, man, every time we see you fight, like your alter ego comes out or something. You're talking shit and screaming and yelling and just crazy. Like, what's gets out? I'm like, I don't know, dude. It's just
that's the showcase.
The fighting brings it out of you, I guess.
Is it weird when the people at the office find out what you do? Is that weird for you guys?
They bought tickets from me every time. Like the whole
Yeah,
everyone shows up. Yeah, so they love it.
I have a really good I have a really good support at my job too. Actually, when I've been where I'm at for 8 years, and the fight that I broke my arm was the week before I started at this job. So I showed up and I had a cast and I had stitches in my face and stuff. I was all beat up. My eye was swole shut and shit. They're like, so this is our manager. Yep.
I would hate to be your guys' boss, because at the end of the day, it's like, damn, this employee could whoop my ass if he really wanted to. How am I supposed to write him up? He can tie me up.
For sure.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate your time, Eric, man. We wish you nothing but the best. Get that strap for us, man. We need it. You're our Utah guy. We need it.
I'm going to win it, and then I'll come back and I'll bring it to the podcast. We'll do it after.
Hell yeah. Mike, you down to come back too?
Yeah, let me know.
Make sure you bring your
whatever.
belt.
I'll bring
your belt.
Yeah, bring your belt. Yeah. Carry that thing with you. Do some cool things with it.
I know I should.
They have a cool, shiny belt, and they don't even do nothing with it.
It's a good looking belt too. It looks awesome.
Yeah, because the first one I had was like the silver ones they had, and then they like right after the
manifesting right now. It's all over my house. It's all over my office. It's my lock screen. We're getting this belt.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And then they changed right after the Jerome fight. They made the new design and made the gold ones for the pro. So I was like, I got to get one of those. I have the silver one. I got to get the gold one.
Do you guys get to keep them?
Yeah.
So you keep them even if you like when you vacate it, you're gonna be able to keep it.
Yep.
That's cool.
Yeah. No. And I mean, again, shows Fierce wants to recognize the guys and things like that. They take good care of us. I think for sure. I'm a fan. I'm a lifelong Fierce aficionado for sure.
Yeah, man. It takes us to keep this thing going too, right? Because Fierce won't be nothing without the athletes, and the athletes won't be nothing without the supporters. So the supporters need to show up and keep on buying tickets, man. We need to sell out the Maverick Center. We need to sell that bitch out, and we're almost there, man. Like just a few thousand seats, man, and it's there, man. You look at everybody that loves mixed martial arts. You watch the UFC, like these shows are so good. To be honest with you, the last card. And even the Bonneville card was better than some of the UFC cards that I've seen.
100%. And you're seeing guys that are really fighting for an opportunity, right? Mm-hmm. Like you hear people that are like, "Oh, I don't follow, pro football. I follow college." It's a little along that, right? Like these guys are up and coming, and they're fighting for their next opportunity. So come support them. Get if you can't be there, get the pay-per-view. Just let's drive the MMA community, because there's no reason the UFC should sell out and this shouldn't, because I guarantee there won't be a bad fight on this card.
Bingo. You have any words for your opponent?
Keep your hands up. You're going to get hit a bunch, and that's going to hurt.
Eric, we're all keeping our hands up if we're in the cage with you. It's going to be me. Stop, no. All right, guys. Well, you know how to support the channel. If you want to buy a t-shirt, a hoodie, allrock.com, ALLRAWK.com. Follow me on Instagram at Drerawka, DRERAWKA. Hope you have the day you deserve. Always protect your light. We're out. Peace. Eric, what'd you have for breakfast?
I actually had a breakfast burrito.
Ooh.
I was starving. I ate a really light dinner last night. I was like, if I go do this podcast, because I went to the gym this morning, and I was like, if I go do this podcast and I'm starving, I'm gonna be miserable. I better eat something.
I was gonna bring donuts, but I was like, that's probably not a good idea for Eric right now.
It's good for me. Dude.
Yeah.
I mean,
you did the hard part.
I'm doing all the things right now.